Tonight on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, each of Kentucky's 6 classes down to its final 4 as the state semifinals kick off across the Bluegrass. Our game of the week takes us to Paintsville, where the number 4 Tigers welcome in number 7 Pikeville. Two-time defending Class 3A state champion Belfry aims for its 6th straight trip to state when it hosts the number 8 Corbin Redhounds. Number 3 Johnson Central goes after its first ever finals appearance on the road at Wayne County. And the defending Class 5A state champion Pulaski County Maroons travel to Northern Kentucky to battle Highlands. And on the hardwood, the top-ranked Kentucky Wildcats are in South Beach, looking to stay perfect against South Florida.
My name's Chase Solar, and Sports Overtime starts now.
Welcome into yet another edition of the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime. I am Josh McKinney, and I am flying solo tonight. Lauren Cash and Jamie McCracken both on the road covering state semifinal games, and we will get to some high school football in just a little bit. We begin the show, though, with some college basketball. The number 1 Kentucky Wildcats down in Florida today battling former assistant coach Orlando Antigua and his South Florida Bulls. John Calipari and number 1 Kentucky versus South Florida down in Miami. Bad news for Kentucky. Tyler Eulis sustains an elbow injury in the first half. He would leave and not return. Report, though, is day to day. Luckily, the Cats would be all right. Isaiah Briscoe to Scala Bicier for the one-handed alley-oop. UK by 13. Then Jamal Murray buries the corner 3. A game-high 21 for Murray. We go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Kentucky rolls and stays perfect 84-63 over the Bulls. Here's John Calipari on his sophomore point guard.
Don't know. I haven't even spoken to him. I know he's in a sling, so let's hope it's not. You know, there's a play where there's a loose ball. The other guy should have dove on it because he didn't, and Tyler dove on it. And so that's, you know, it's a freak kind of deal, but that's how it happened. So he's hurt right now, but we'll see.
The top-ranked Wildcats will be back in action on Monday, November 30th at home in Rupp Arena against the Redbirds of Illinois State out of the Missouri Valley Conference. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock on ESPN2. Monday's meeting will mark the first ever matchup between Kentucky and Illinois State. Well, coming up, we turn our attention to high school football in the state semis, and it all starts with our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Number 7 Pikeville at unbeaten and number 4 Paintsville in Class A. Time now for our Fans in the Stands, sponsored by Eastern Kentucky University. We go to Belfry, where Pond Creek Nation, as expected, out in full force for the Pirates and Corbin Redhounds Class 3A state semifinals. We will go out to Pike County for highlights of this game. Coming up shortly, Belfry fans, our Fans in the Stands, sponsored by Eastern Kentucky University. Well, Pikeville and Paintsville have met 6 times in the playoffs. The Panthers have won 5, with the lone loss coming last season at home, 30-6. Pikeville also lost to the Tigers on the road earlier this season in overtime, 23-22. Tonight, though, is for a trip to the Class A state finals, the rematch everyone has been waiting for. Our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week, number 4 Paintsville, number 7 Pikeville. The Class A state semis from Johnson County. Paintsville without Cash Daniel in this one. So Kent Phelps lines up at QB. Finds James Allen, 24-yard score. Panthers answer, though, 25-yard bruising run by Derek Pugh. Game tied at 7. UPike top play contender ensuing kickoff. Phelps fields it at his own 25-yard line, and like a rocket goes 75 yards for the score, 14-7 Paintsville. Next Pikeville possession, Wyatt Battle to a wide-open Blake Charles for the 13-yard score. We're tied at 14. UPike top play contender. How about Paintsville special teams? John Dos Santos, a 52-yard field goal to give the Tigers a 17-14 lead. So who does Pikeville turn to? Derek Pugh puts Pikeville up 21-17, and then just before the half, Battle, another touchdown pass, this one to Andrew McNamee for the score. We go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Pikeville, for the first time since 1991, is going to the state finals. They beat previously unbeaten Paintsville 42-23.
Yes, sir. It feels great. You know, this is what counts right back here. These guys celebrating. They've worked awful hard this year, and I'm so proud of them. And I just came in and fought a good Paintsville team tonight.
So who would Pikeville play? The Beechwood Tigers. 13-1 on the year. Beechwood wins on the road tonight down in Russellville. Final score out west, 34-25. That game will be next Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, from Western Kentucky University. To Class 4A, since Johnson Central's last state semifinal appearance in 2006, the Golden Eagles have gone 90-22, an average of 10 wins per season. But no win would be bigger than the one tonight should they get past Wayne County and secure the program its first ever trip to the state finals in Bowling Green. Jordan Blanton, the guy who caught the game-winning touchdown last week, ready to go down in Monticello. UPike top play contender. The last pass Bryce Workman threw was to Blanton. The first one tonight to Blanton. The sixth play of the game, 66 yards to the house, 7-0 Golden Eagles. Bryce Workman, as you can imagine, jacked up after his touchdown pass. Second quarter, there is Mr. Workman. Cardinals driving. Lorenzo Lindsay rolls to his left, finds Colton Turpin. Cards match JC with their own passing touchdown, 7-7. Right before the half, Blanton under center now, keeps it on the option, and this is why he is a state champion wrestler. Just using his power to slip multiple tackles down inside the 5-yard line. Couple of plays later, it's Blanton again, takes the handoff, spins off a tackler, crosses the plane from a yard out. As we go to the scoreboard, a tight game down the stretch, but Johnson Central state bound for the first time in program history. 21-14 the final over Wayne County.
Well, I mean, it's been a long tough. I know you heard me, but in the last 2 years we've endured an ice storm, a tornado, and a flood. And it's hard to believe that these kids have been so resilient and so tough. And, you know, heck, we had a kid played all year and ran for 1,000 yards. He didn't even have a home. You know, what can you say about kids like that? Just a resilient, tough, and the community has been just so gracious, so wonderful in supporting us. I mean, it's just unbelievable what this community has been to me.
So next Sunday evening, Johnson Central will play South Warren. The unbeaten Spartans knock off Shelby County tonight out in Bowling Green. Final score 36-6. So Johnson Central versus South Warren, the Class 4A state championship. Again, that game next Sunday at Western Kentucky University. Some couple of 2A scores in the semifinals. Mayfield, the defending Class 1A state champion Cardinals, knock off DeSales, last year's 2A state champ, 24-19. Mayfield 13-1, and they will play Newport Central Catholic, just 9-5 on the year, but the Thoroughbreds always tough. Thoroughbreds knock off the Danville Admirals 15-7, the final in Northern Kentucky. So the Class 2A state championship game, Newport Central Catholic versus Mayfield. Well, still to come on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, a couple of defending state champions trying to get back to Bowling Green. Pulaski County on the road at Highlands, and Belfry at home versus the Corbin Redhounds.
Hi, I'm Caleb Salisbury, Pike Central Hawks, and you're watching Sports Overtime.
The last time Belfry and Corbin met on the football field was August of 2007, a game the Pirates won 21-0. However, to find the last time the two programs met in the playoffs, you have to go all the way back to 1969. That game won by Corbin 6-0. Number 2 Belfry, number 8 Corbin, 7 combined state titles between the two programs. First drive for Belfry, the option pitch goes to Cameron Catron, carries the rock all the way down inside the Corbin 20 down to the 12-yard line. Zondre Willis would run it in on the next play, 7-0. Corbin putting together a solid drive to answer. Tucker Jewell on the sweep picks up a Redhound first down. A couple of plays later on 3rd and long, Jonah French with the handoff. He picks up about 18, good enough for another Corbin first down. And then they go to the air. Cameron Sizemore across the middle to Moore, give him 16 yards and a touchdown. And then we go to the second quarter, tied at 7. Derek Wellman right up the gut for another Belfry score. We go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Number 2 Belfry got rolling, did not stop. Pirates going back to Bowling Green for a 6th straight year, 42-14 over Corbin. So who would Belfry play? Lexington Catholic on the road at E-Town. Panthers undefeated. Scoreless game in the first. E-Town driving. Jack Wilson going deep. Kevin Brown goes up and gets it. It's an interception for Lex Cath. In the second, Andy Thompson lets it go in the rain. 36-yard pass hauled in the back of the end zone by J.J. Ogaboo. Good for the touchdown, 7-0 Knights. E-Town had the equalizer, though. Bernal Cecil finds the seam, goes 46 yards, untouched for the score. We're tied at 7. Then just before halftime, Lexington Catholic on the 5-yard line. Jalen Jones punches it in. Jones with 139 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the Knights get Belfry next week in the Class 3A state finals. Lexington Catholic hands E-Town its first loss of the season, 35-14, the final score. To Class 5A now, the last time Pulaski County met Highlands was in Northern Kentucky for the 2009 Class 5A state semifinals. A guy by the name of Patrick Tolles led the Bluebirds that day, 181 passing yards and a score in a 52-12 win. The defending Class 5A state champs, the Pulaski County Maroons, taking on Highlands, winners of 30 straight home playoff games. It didn't take long for the home team to find the end zone. Nick Kendall punches it in from a couple of yards out. 50 seconds into the game, it's 7-0. Still first quarter, Highlands having their way with the Maroon defense. Kendall again from a couple of yards out, 14-0. U-Pike top play contender, PC down 2 scores, and the Maroons bust out of the Statue of Liberty play. Riley Hall, the fake pass, hands it off to George Gregory for the score. Maroons hanging around at the half, 28-14. Second half, the comeback was on. Riley Hall to old reliable himself, Jake Johnson, back of the end zone, 31-21 Highlands. Maroons back in the red zone. And old George Gregory again takes over. Gregory powers his way in for 6 more extra point good, 31-28, late third, PC within 3. First and goal on the 1, and who else but Gregory, the direct snap. He's in. Pulaski County takes the lead, 35-31, and the Maroons would not give it up. Pulaski going to Bowling Green for a 3rd straight year. The final score, Maroons 41, Bluebirds 31.
Well, our offensive line really did a good job. I think we got their defensive front gassed a little bit from chasing Riley around in the first half, and so we were able to punch some holes that we couldn't do early. And George just running hard. George Gregory's a hoss. I'm just proud of our team. Sorry. To come back and win on this field against that team, that's a big deal. Pulaski football. It's a big deal.
That's awesome. 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row. Hopefully make it 2 years in a row winning it. It just means a lot for this program and everybody in the county.
So Pulaski County will get the Bowling Green Purples, who handed the Maroons a loss last year in the season finale, 21-0 the final in Bowling Green. The Purples knock off the Fern Creek Tigers to advance to the state championship. In Class 6A, Lafayette goes on the road to beat Simon Kenton, the previously unbeaten Pioneers, 42-28, the Generals win. And how about you, Lauren Cash? The Male Bulldogs, 50-0. Male stays perfect on the year. Male beats Central Hardin tonight to advance to the state championship against Lafayette next week. Male undefeated, one of the top 15 teams in the country. Much more to come on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, but as we go to break, here is a look at the final Alice Lloyd College Mountain Top 10 heading into the final week of the high school football season. Time now for some Long John Silver's, our catch of the day, a guy that is no stranger to making great catches. It's Jake from Pulaski County. Jake Johnson, double coverage, makes the touchdown grab, a huge catch, and obviously a huge win over Highlands on the road. Jake Johnson, our Long John Silver's catch of the day. Before we get to tomorrow's college football action, a huge game this afternoon out in Bowling Green. Western Kentucky and Marshall getting together with a trip to the Conference USA Championship on the line. Brandon Dowdy, the 6th-year senior in Western Kentucky, trying to knock off defending conference champion Marshall. It takes all of 42 seconds for the Hilltoppers to score. Dowdy to Nicholas Norris. The quick screen goes for 35 yards and a touchdown. And just like that, it's 7-0 Western. Western to the ground in the second. The former Central Yellow Jacket, Anthony Wales, spins out of one tackle. That's all he needs. 15 yards to pay dirt. 14-0 Toppers. A touchdown pass to Tyler Higbee made it 21-0 Western, but then Marshall gets on the board on the ensuing kickoff. DeAndre Reeves starts up the middle, then finds all kinds of room down the far sideline. 97 yards. But Western moves on to the Conference USA Championship game 49-28. Toppers will play either Southern Miss or Louisiana Tech next weekend. Time now for the Saturday slate to get you set for this weekend's action, sponsored all season long by Union College. The big game this weekend is happening in Lexington at Commonwealth Stadium, the latest chapter in the battle for the Governor's Cup. Just like last season, the Kentucky Wildcats enter their game with rival Louisville 5-7 and in need of a win to become bowl eligible. Head coach Mark Stoops has been saying it for several weeks, and he repeated himself this week. He wants Commonwealth Stadium packed tomorrow afternoon.
You know, again, I ask for everybody there this week. We need the stadium packed, and we need a great environment to root this team on and cheer this team on to get our 6th win. So we need to use that home field advantage to help us.
So here we go. A win, and Kentucky is bowl eligible for the first time since 2010. The Wildcats at home tomorrow afternoon versus rival Louisville in the annual battle for the Governor's Cup. Kickoff slated for noon on the SEC Network. Kentucky owns the all-time series lead 14-13, but since the rivalry was renewed on an annual basis in 1994, the Cardinals have a 13-8 series advantage and have also won 4 straight over the Wildcats and 6 of the last 8 in Lexington. And with that, we conclude another Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for Sports Overtime Saturday night. Jamie and I will be here to bring you college football and basketball highlights, as well as the latest Sports Overtime Rewind that looks back on the last Mr. Football from the mountains. But until then, thank you for watching. You can look at the updated state championship schedule on our website, WYMT.com. Western at home next week as well, hosting the Conference USA Championship game. All that stuff on our website online. Again, thank you for watching, and until tomorrow night, have a good night.